Hi everybody, it's the AFL Yank back here again in time for another AFL tipping video. So round 1 just officially finished a couple minutes ago. Obviously St. Kilda beat Freo. So for this round I ended up getting 5 out of 9 tips correct. Obviously tipped Richmond to beat Carlton and it ended up being a draw. So yeah, the tips I got right were the Tigers, North Melbourne. Although if Carlton had actually finished the season opener, they probably would have won, because I think Carlton had the advantage in the final minutes. But yeah, just they couldn't execute it. So the tips I got correct: I got Richmond correct, North Melbourne, the Swans, and Essendon. And I did not expect Essendon to smack Hawthorn like that. Not at all. But yeah, pretty good round of footy, I gotta say. So yeah, a very entertaining draw. Collingwood beats the Cats to get revenge from the preliminary final, where obviously not the preliminary final. Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Because I not the preliminary. It was the quarterfinal when both Geelong and Collingwood met up. And obviously the Cats won by a goal in that game. I can't believe I said prelim, because obviously we faced Collingwood in the prelim and we were kicking their butt all game until Reed got injured and we ended up winning by a point. So yeah, the Roos off to a good start despite beating the Eagles by only 5 points. Probably the biggest upset of this round, I honestly did not think Port Adelaide would beat the Lions. I really didn't. But honestly, it'll be interesting to see how well Port do this season. Will it be a rebound of a year for them? I honestly don't know. Alright, and then obviously D's beat the Doggies. The Swannies kicked some butt. Absolutely fantastic performance against the Gold Coast Suns. Just after so many occasions of them being our bogey side, we finally got the job done against them. I mean, we usually do well at the SCG on occasions, but yeah, at Heritage Bank we always struggled for the most part. Crows lost to the Giants. I can't believe freaking Crom lost to freaking GWS. Yeah, there's barely going to be any swearing in this. I promise you. I do not want to get demonetized. Well, I don't even make money on these videos anyways. Like, I just do this for entertainment. So it doesn't even matter. But still, I want to keep this clean. I mean, there's going to be young audiences watching, but yeah. I can't believe Crom lost to GWS. Just, oh my god. Literally, the team that I picked to win the Wooden Spoon, they literally beat the Crows, who I thought were going to be a young and upcoming team. Essendon beat Hawthorn. They looked incredibly hot today, especially with Tippa. With Tippa being back, it's a huge, massive plus for Essendon to have him back. And honestly, I would not be surprised if Essendon made finals this year. I mean, there tends to be a very weird trend where Essendon seem to suck in like even years, but they actually are a finals bound side like in odd years. This pattern's been going on since 2017. Yeah, since 2017, where they dominated in an odd year, and then they absolutely just plummet in the following year. And finally, Freo loses to St. Kilda. And a common trend has been seen this round, as it's mostly brand new coaches winning these matchups. So yeah. So anyways, let's get to round 2. Carlton versus the Geelong Cats. The Blues obviously coming off a draw against Richmond. And the Cats, they're coming off their loss against Collingwood. Will the Cats be 0-2? That is definitely going to be the biggest question heading into this game. But because we know how good Carlton could be. I mean, they got potential through the roof. But yeah, will the Cats, will they rebound next week? That'll be an interesting question in my eyes. But to be frank, I think this could definitely be a very, very neck and neck game. But regardless, though, I think the Cats can rebound. I think they can get the job done. I feel like this game could be close. I'm going to say a 10-point marginal game for this one in my eyes. So yeah. And this time we will be using the ladder predictor. We will be using Squiggle, as I promised a couple days ago. So yeah. So Cats, I'm going to have them win by 10 points. I think this could definitely be a thriller, but I'm leaning towards Geelong to win this game. Then we got the Brisbane Lions versus Melbourne. The Lions coming off a very, very shocking loss to Port in Adelaide. And the D's, they're obviously coming off a very easy win that they had against the Doggies. They pretty much cruised through that game. No problems. But I still stand. I think the Lions could definitely have a really strong run at the Gabba this year. I think they can definitely still be a very dominant side at home. They showed it last year, and I think they can continue it. I mean, I think the D's will definitely put up some great competition. They obviously beat the Lions at the Gabba last year. But I'm thinking Lions. I think Brisbane can do this. I think they can remain dominant at home at the Gabba this year. But regardless, I think this will be another incredibly close game. I think the D's will definitely put up a lot of competition. And yeah, I definitely see it being that way. I think this could definitely be another thriller in the works. Then next, Collingwood versus Port Adelaide at the MCG. And obviously, Pies, they're coming off a very strong win against... They're obviously coming off a very strong win against the Cats. They're looking hot. They look really good. And Port, they're also coming off a hot win themselves as well with their win against the Lions. Can Port Adelaide really prove people wrong and beat the Pies? Honestly, I just think the Pies will be too strong for Port. I know Port, they have a really strong, dominant win against the Lions, but I feel like the Pies are going to want it more. I'm going to say Pies by 3 goals in that game. Adelaide Crows versus the Richmond Tigers. The Tigers obviously coming off the draw against Carlton, which honestly probably should have gone... It honestly probably should have gone to... In my eyes, I honestly think that game should have probably been a Carlton win in my eyes. But yeah, Tigers they've shown some strengths here and there. They have a good midfield. I think they have a good chance of rebounding. And the Crows, they're coming off a very shocking upset loss to GWS, who I predicted to be the Wooden Spooners. I still think they might be they still have a shot for bottom 4, but I mean we could see them do a 2021 where they missed finals the previous year and then they massively rebounded. I mean, it's possible of happening. But regardless, though, I'm going to say Tigers get the win here. Although I would not be surprised if the Crows won. I mean, they have the capabilities of upsetting teams in Adelaide. It's possible. They did it with the D's in 2021, and they can be anywhere. It depends what Crows team shows up. But regardless, I'm going to go Tigers. I say they win by a comfortable 23-point margin. And then Western Bulldogs versus St. Kilda. Saints get their first win of the season with the upset win over Freo. And the Doggies, they're looking to rebound. This will definitely be a very interesting game in my eyes. But regardless, I think the doggies can get this one. It'll be interesting how well St. Kilda can continue to do after the win against Freo. But I mean, anything's possible. I would not be surprised if St. Kilda won, but I'm gonna say doggies by 16. Just a moderate margin, because I think St. Kilda will definitely put up some competition in that game. Then at Optus, it's Freo versus North Melbourne. The Dockers coming off the recent loss to St. Kilda, and Roos coming off a season opener win against the West Coast Eagles at Marvel. Now, do I believe the Roos can actually surprise people under Clarko? I mean, it's possible, but I just think Freo, they're going to be way more interested in trying to rebound after losing to St. Kilda. Like, I mean, the results are endless. But yeah, I think I see a cruising win for Freo. I think they'll get a nice rebound of win. And yeah. And then at the SCG, it is the Sydney Swans versus Hawthorn. The Hawks absolutely got beaten by Essendon today. And the Swannies, they're coming off an incredibly strong run. An incredibly strong, dominant performance against the Gold Coast Suns. From that performance alone, there definitely was there's no battle scar. There's no signs of battle scars from the grand final. The Swannies look fine. Although Buddy's going to be missing this week, but I mean, it's Hawthorn. But yeah. And also forgot to mention the D's will not have Causey Pickett for 2 games, so that might hurt their chances. But yeah, the Swannies looking as strong as ever. What a dominant performance. Kind of wish Hawthorn got that goal, so he would have been on top of the ladder. But still, absolutely fantastic performance by the Swannies. I'm proud of them. But yeah, no doubts about it. Going Swannies. I think they should dominate this game. I'm actually gonna say they win by 50 plus. I'll say a 65-point margin. I know I get biased, but I just think the Swans are just gonna feast on Hawthorn. I mean, the Hawks, they've made it prevalent this season. They're gonna rebuild. They've unloaded various depth and key pieces. I mean, they got plenty of youngsters, but yeah, they're basically just a work-in-progress team this year. And I just think the Swans are just going to be feasting on them, especially being at the SCG. And then at Marvel, it is Essendon versus the Gold Coast Suns. I got to go Essendon here. The Suns did not look good at all against the Swans. Just complete, utter domination by the Swannies. And Essendon, they absolutely tore it up against Hawthorn, and yeah, I'm going an Essendon win. I think they should win by 48 points. I think they can win big. They can continue the run that they had against Hawthorn. So, yeah. And finally at Optus Stadium, it is the West Coast Eagles versus the GWS Giants. Eagles lost to North Melbourne, which is honestly no surprise, but I honestly think GWS are actually in better shape than the Eagles in my eyes. So yeah, I'm going GWS to win this game. Tom Green looked really good. They still have a very good chance at doing okay. I mean, I had him tipped as my wooden spooners, but I mean, they could prove me wrong. I mean, I still remember the freaking year that I tipped Essendon to win the wooden spoon, which was 2021, and yeah, it was a shot in the dark. Heck, I didn't even tip North. I don't think I even tipped North in 2022. I think it was, I don't remember. I might have, but I really don't know. But nonetheless, I think GWS, they're in a little bit of better shape compared to the West Coast Eagles as of right now, as the Eagles obviously lost to North. But yeah, those are my tips. I hope you enjoyed this. I wanted to get this out as soon as I can. Yeah. So here's the projected ladder. We have 4 teams at 2-0: Sydney, Essendon, GWS, and Collingwood. And then obviously Richmond in 5th, thanks to the draw with Carlton. Then D 6th, Port 7th, and Freo in 8th. Then we got St Kilda 9th, Geelong 10th, the Doggies in 11th, Roos 12th, Lions 13th, Carlton 14th, West Coast in 15th, Crows 16th, Suns 17th, and Hawthorn in 18th. Alright, anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. This is the AFL Yank signing out. Carn the Swannies.